The Center for Bangladesh and Global Affairs is a non-profit, non-government and knowledge-driven initiative with its key focus on research, publications, seminars, trainings, survey, advocacy and related activities on Bangladesh and global affairs. The center engages in study, generates evidence and promotes research on multidisciplinary and multidimensional issues influencing Bangladesh in its policy and knowledge domains, particularly in the areas of security, diplomacy, foreign policy, and international relations. The center has launched its video commentary program, CBGA Discourse, for wider access to people who have interests in the issues of foreign policy and international relations. Today, we are presenting our second episode on the economic crisis in Sri Lanka, a perceived comparison with Bangladesh.
Sri Lanka is now dealing with the worst economic crisis in its 74 years history. But some days ago, Sri Lanka was the most advanced economy in South Asia with a per capita GDP of over 4,000 USD with a robust education and health system of all South Asian countries. Sri Lanka was also a major tourist destination in South Asia and rich in natural and mineral resources. However, over the years, Sri Lanka's economy has been in grave crisis. The country has been going through a food shortage for several months due to the decline in imports. At present, the country's foreign exchange reserves are fluctuating between 1 billion to 2 billion, while Sri Lanka will have to repay 7.3 billion in interest within 2023. This means that Sri Lanka is on the verge of becoming financially bankrupt.
Some of the critics from inside and outside of Bangladesh were trying to draw the far-fetched similarities between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, centering on foreign loans, mega projects and development strategies. However, according to the World Bank and Asian Development Bank, Bangladesh has a strong track record of development and prosperity. Over the last decade, it has been one of the fastest growing economies and is on its way to be graduated as a developing country by 2026. Having a demographic dividend, robust ready-made garments, a diversified economy, remittance and stable economic and political conditions, Bangladesh has maintained a resilient economy amid the COVID-19 pandemic. It has even surpassed many developed countries in terms of ensuring vaccines and healthcare for its citizens. Bangladesh tells the world a remarkable story of poverty reduction and development within a short period of time after its emergence as an independent nation in 1971. By developing its own capacity, Bangladesh is providing support to its neighboring countries. Bangladesh has bailed out Sri Lanka previously with a loan of $250 million through currency swap.
Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are two distinct countries in terms of geographical location, population, economy, and political system. Bangladesh's economy is on the safest trajectory because of political leadership, geographical location, political stability, and growing domestic economy. Besides, the root causes of the Sri Lankan economic crisis are different, though some people try to depict it as the repercussion of Chinese debt. Simply borrowing from the same country does not make Bangladesh and Sri Lanka stand in the same line.
In contrast to Sri Lanka, from the basket case addressed by Henry Kissinger during independence, Bangladesh has been a remarkable case of sustained and robust economic growth.
Debt is a universal phenomenon in the history of economic development in the world. Many developed countries have experienced debt syndrome. Foreign assistance has been a key instrument for maintaining stability in the socio-economic sphere of a country. But debt has its politics within it, and Sri Lanka is just the scapegoat of it. Sri Lanka's total foreign debt is $33 billion. With a total population of 22 million, Sri Lanka has $1,650 per capita debt. On the other hand, the total debt of Bangladesh is $49.45 billion with a per capita debt of $292.11.
Sri Lankan remittances have reached the bottom due to the coronavirus pandemic. The country's remittances were 8.5 billion in the 2020 to 21 fiscal year. The remittances of Bangladesh in that fiscal year were 24.78 billion, which is almost 3 times more than Sri Lanka's. The World Bank and the International Monetary Fund say that a country will transgress the danger marks if its external debt exceeds 40% of GDP. Bangladesh has less than 15% of its GDP as foreign loans, which indicates that Bangladesh is in safe zone.
With $85 billion GDP, Sri Lanka embarked in massive infrastructural development and mega projects, while Bangladesh is doing the same with an economy of $384 billion, more than 4.5 times higher than Sri Lanka. It shows the differences in the capacity of the two countries in implementing mega projects. Besides, Bangladesh is careful about rational use of foreign funds. The Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, stated in the National Parliament that Bangladesh has never defaulted in its history. Bangladesh is in strong position in debt servicing and repayment. Bangladesh has a strong domestic market, adequate demand for mega projects, and a need for developed country like infrastructure for realizing the dream of Sonar Bangla and Vision 2041 into reality.
Sri Lanka has a fragile government with largely a dysfunctional system of sharing power between the president and the prime minister. In the recent months, it has faced acute political crisis associated with terrorist attacks. Power at the hands of two brothers is also unprecedented in Sri Lanka. The country is suffering from chronic political instability.
On the other hand, Bangladesh has an effective government with visionary and far-sighted leadership. Bangladesh enjoys unbroken political stability as a root of its miraculous economic and social development. With vast and unfathomable political experience both in the opposition and in power, the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh has been successfully running the country. Bangladesh has ensured 100% of electricity, massive reduction of extreme poverty, and robust economic growth.
Sri Lankan civil war was deeper repercussions that destroyed the backbone of the economy and politics. Besides, Sri Lanka in terms of its foreign policy has not been able to maintain a balanced and neutral position that has antagonized some great powers. On the contrary, Bangladesh pursues its foreign policy based on friendship to all and malice towards none. It has friendly ties with all the great powers in the world that has helped getting rid of hostility of great powers in the geopolitical rivalries.
Bangladesh will also less likely to fall into the crisis due to its strong agriculture with a 167 million population. People produce more than they consume in many agricultural and industrial goods, including rice. Bangladesh is the second largest RMG producer in the world. The case of Bangladesh is different. Every country, including the developed nations, can learn from the Sri Lankan crisis in terms of economic management and political stability for further improvement of their economies.
Bangladesh enjoys a robust economic growth, rising per capita income, high-performing agriculture and service sectors, strong remittance, political stability, visionary political leadership, and a great geostrategic location. The video has shown why and how Bangladesh is a different case that has no similarity with the situations in Sri Lanka or any country suffering from economic crisis in the present world. The attempt to draw a parallel between the two nations is misperceived and perhaps deeply motivated. Bangladesh will continue its own journey to achieve the Vision 2041 amid opportunities and challenges from home and abroad.